Let me get on my IG Live. All right. All right. We are live. What up? What up? How's everybody doing today? We are getting started with this fight night, with this main event card with Johnny Walker, and we are already 2 fights in. One fight went the distance with Andre Arlovsky. What up? What up, guys? One fight went the distance with Andre Arlovsky, and then the other fight was good. Was good. The other fight, it finished in the first round with a what up, cousin? With a knockout. It was a knockout. So they came out in the first round, and then he finished them. I think not too much time left in the first round. And y'all make sure if y'all are in my Instagram live, go ahead. What up? What up? It says the haircut's outrageous, bro. Appreciate it. I'm rocking the pineapple from under the sea. Okay. But if y'all are in my Instagram live, go to my story. You'll see the link is on my story as well as in my bio. Go over to Millions where you can follow me on Millions. Have a chance to win some free merch, maybe even some memorabilia. I had this memorabilia. I had 5 posters, but I only have 4 now. Someone purchased one of the autographed memorabilia posters. And yes, this is F3 for everybody out there. Who's that? Alex. Yep, got my F3. You know, no stream is official without that F3 in there. So got my F3 for tonight. I will be fueled. Yes, sir. It is go time. What up, Vic? Hope everything was all right. Happy New Year, and let's get ready for these fights. But yeah, if you guys jump in the Millions, if you guys jump in the Millions chat, in the Million stream, it says, "Tell me why your mom came down to Texas rocking the Mama Moon shirt like a boss." It was cute. Yes, Mama Moon worked. I'm Moon. Mama Moon rocks the Mama Moon shirt, and there's only one of those. You cannot get those on Millions because there's only one Mama Moon. All right, but yeah, this is probably one of my favorite Lunar Unlimited shirts and logos. It's the gradient one with the black and gray because it kind of fades out, kind of like the moon is like gray and then fades out to black. It's one of my absolute favorites. All right. What up? What up? It's one of my absolute favorites. So that's cool. And then this is probably my second favorite one that has my saying on the back. It's a good day to be alive, but an even better day to be great. All right. So if you follow me on social media, you know it's not just something I say, something I kind of live by. Post it on my social media as much as possible. And now everybody kind of like tags me in it, and they've been asking for a shirt. So I have a shirt with that on the back. It has the big Lunar Unlimited logo. I don't have it on this shirt because I have a QR code on the back. If you just scan the QR code, it takes you directly to Millions. So shout out to Millions for making selling shirts easy for the fighters. All right. But it says your DVD collection is pretty intense. Intense is an understatement. If you want to get rid of DVDs, y'all know who to call. All right. And I might have a spreadsheet with all the DVDs listed on there as well. So, but yeah, we are getting ready for fight number 3. It says, which fighter do you see as a dark horse in the UFC who could rise through to the rankings this year? That's a great question. So someone asked me a similar question to this. And last time, I still think it's going to be the same. My answer is still the same as Shavkat. Shavkat, I always mess up his name. Shavkat Rachmanov. All right. He has one of those. He's from the Russian area. He's like Russian, but he looks like he has of Asian descent, like Mongolian. Dude is an absolute savage at 170. He can wrestle as well as what up? He can wrestle as well as strike. And I think he's kind of the dark horse of the division. What up, Jordan? Jordan's in the chat. Always appreciate Jordan. All right. I got these signed posters, these memorabilia posters on my millions. So if y'all want, I only have 4 left. I had 5, but someone got it as a gift for one of my fans. They got it as a gift for someone who's a fan of my fights. So they purchased one. If there are only 4 left on my Millions account, so go to my Millions account, millions.co, and all you got to do is search athletes. If you put in Moon, I'm the only Moon athlete on Millions. So there you go. And then you can check out the memorabilia as well as the merchandise, book me for events, and much more. Who you got tonight, Jordan? I'm going with Johnny Walker just because I think he had his rise and fall, and now he's back on his rise, and I think that is going to be this is going to be kind of one of the different makers to get him back on those undercards, and then eventually on those UFC main events, not just the fight nights. What up, guys? Yes, but if you're in the IG chat, go over to the link in my bio or the link that's on my story and join the Millions watch party for free. We are about to go into this bantamweight division. Y'all already know the bantamweight division is my weight class. So anytime I watch the bantamweight division, I'm always stoked because I'm trying to see what the fellow competition looks like in my weight class. And to me, I might be a little biased, but I think the bantamweight division is the best weight class in the best division on the planet. Come on. You got Chiro Vera, former Aljamain Sterling. You had TJ Dillashaw. You got Sean O'Malley. You had Dominic Cruz. Like, just so many killers coming out the bantamweight division. And it's proven to be one of the most exciting weight classes. Former Cody Garbrandt. So one of the most exciting weight classes in order to watch. So we got Mario Bautista versus Simon, and this is going to be exciting. It's funny because I actually fought one of the guys I think that trains out of one of the gyms that Simons is from in my February fight when I was out in Arizona. That has a whole little funny backstory too. We went to someone's gym that just kind of cut weight, and one of the guys came in, started asking a bunch of questions, and then found out I was actually fighting his fighter, and we had no idea that was a gym that my opponent was training at. So my coaches and his coaches were kind of like talking, and then his coaches were saying some kind of disrespectful stuff, and so Bubby, had to lay the law down, and it got pretty interesting. But we cut some weight and left the premises before we could get into any extracurricular activities. What up, Stash? But boom. It says, what brands do you feel align with the spirit of MMA and your personal brand as a fighter? Anything that kind of promotes personal growth, health and fitness, and any kind of live experience. Number one, not just because they sponsor me, but F3 is a brand that definitely aligns with what I do. It's a clean energy drink with not a lot of extra BS in there. There's actually a lot of good natural ingredients in it. So if you read it, I like the orange and peach mood. I drink these at night for recovery. It has chamomile extract, GABA root, magnesium, as well as a valerian root. All things that help with sleep aid. So for fighters, you're out there training all the time, and I always tell people the most important part about recovery is sleep and nutrition. If you're not getting proper or quality sleep and your nutrition is not intact, then you're not going to be recovering as much as you could. So you can hit the foam roller and stretch as much as you want, but if you're not getting good sleep and you're not getting good nutrition, putting the right things in your body, then you're not going to recover as much or as good as you possibly can. So F3 Clean Fuel, that they definitely align with fighters and brands, because a lot of fighters, don't have the best nutrition and diet, but we like energy drinks and things of that nature. And the ones that have caffeine have natural caffeine from green tea, so it's not a lot of crazy additives and things like that. All right, got some more questions coming in. Not gonna lie, those are good. I like the lemon lime one. Yeah, the lemon lime one. This one pretty much tastes like a 7-Up or a Sprite. So if you haven't tried these out, definitely, and make sure you use code Moon. All right, code Moon, and that'll get you, I think, 15% off. Oh my God, there's a ghost in the house. All right, boom, boom. Yes, boom. Let me see. I think I want to kind of hit back on the what brands do you align with? What brands do you feel align with the spirit of MMA and personal brand as a fighter? I think MMA for me stands for motivation and martial arts. That's what I kind of coined as my brand for MMA. So you'll see everything that I have will have something to kind of deal with some kind of personal growth, martial arts, fitness, and health base. So I like things that revolve around that and anything that is also a new experience. Because as a martial artist, I have learned that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. All right. So you can never stop learning and growing. So I like to experience things because the more you experience, I feel like the more you start to broaden your perspective as a human being. And what better way to do that than to experience other cultures, other foods, other events, other things like that. So I think those kind of qualities as a martial artist is things that I like to align myself with. So if I had to choose brands, maybe some kind of brand that was like maybe some kind of travel brand, or nutrition brand, and maybe even some. Ooh, there is a brand that I do like a lot, Defense brand. So Defense is a brand, is a company that makes products to clean your gear as well as clean yourself. I got this little nick on my arm. I got a Band-Aid over, and I've been cleaning it with Defense soap, because Defense soap has like natural antibacterial properties and make sure it doesn't get infected. And when you're out there training on the mat, teaching kids classes, so you're training 20 30 kids, and you're training with 20 30 adults, and it's sweat all over the mat, you got to stay clean. I always tell all my kids and adults, safety first is the first rule. Number one is safety first, and if you're not clean, you're not safe. So the Defense soap brand is good. Also, I've been working with Incrediwear. They make recovery gear as far as like knee sleeves, elbow sleeves, leg sleeves, and stuff for athletes to help blood circulation to certain areas that might not be up to par. So I've been working with them as well. They're good brands that kind of align with what we do. Since they hooked me up. Who hooked you up? Incrediwear. And by the way, we have our bantamweight fight going on, Simon and Bautista. Simon cut his mullet. Everybody was rocking the mullet. Hey, what are y'all thoughts on the mullet? What are y'all thoughts on the mullet? Should I go with a mullet? Absolutely. Business in the front, party in the back? Caitlin says absolutely not. Absolutely. I say absolutely. Boom. It says, how's the new year been so far? The new year's been kind of like how I treat holidays. It's just another day. I'm really kind of just waiting to get this date finalized for this championship fight, because we've been trying to get this championship fight going since December, but they postponed the date. So I'm kind of just staying ready. My teammate has a fight coming up, Chase Boutwell. I'm going to go get a poster because y'all deserve to see this. It says, how many movies is that exactly behind you? I can give you the exact number because I have a spreadsheet, but I will tell you that it's over 1,000 movies. I think I'm like at 1,100, 1,200 or something like that. But somebody asked me how the new year was going. I have just been training like always, and not a lot of new experiences, just kind of wash, rinse, repeat. But my teammate, a lot of y'all don't know, what you see, the success you see in the ring on my end isn't just from what I'm doing. It's also from the team around me. And my guys here are fighting, okay? My guys here are fighting. My teammate, Chase Boutwell, and I'm actually cool, and we've trained a lot of times, me and Malcolm Wellmaker. These guys are two of the top pros in Georgia. And if you don't know, if you look on Tapology, me, Chase Boutwell, and and Malcolm Wellmaker are all the top 3 or top 4 pros in the States. So yeah, it's gonna be a banger. So whenever I'm not whenever I don't have a fight currently scheduled, I help my team get ready for fights as well as just training as well. So yeah, that's kind of what the new year has been full of: training, helping my team get ready, and yeah, pretty much it. Jordan says mullets are evil. Only because Jordan said mullets are evil, I will not rock the mullet. My teammate Chase Boutwell actually is rocking the mullet. He said he's growing it out. Right now, it's a back and forth matchup between Simon and Bautista. These guys look like very strong bantamweights. Like, we're in an era of mixed martial arts where you can't just be good at one thing. You have to have a well-versed game, a diverse set of skills. Because if you don't have a diverse set of skills, you will not. Oh, somebody said Johnny Walker by KO. Hey, Lunar Visuals, go to my millions. Put that prediction in the millions, and if you do, you could possibly win some gear. All right, I'm currently rocking my Lunar Unlimited shirt. This is what it looks like on the front, and then we have my saying on the back. So, saying on the back. So I call this my positive affirmation shirt, right? And if you just want a clean, nice, clean, simple logo on the front, you'll get that Lunar Unlimited. And I have one in white. I might do a giveaway right here for anybody out there. Appreciate that, Jordan. Jordan's always dropping tips in the chat. Jordan just tipped me. Appreciate that, bro. Next time I'm in Millersville, I'm gonna bring you some F3. Tell me what flavor F3 you want. I'll bring you some F3. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. How are you feeling about your upcoming fight? Oh, I'll answer that in 1 second. And y'all make sure to join the millions chat. I'm about to exit my my Instagram live and just answer questions on my millions chat. Ooh. They are going out of the first round. Now we're Simon and Bautista, the bantamweight fight. It's the third fight on the card, and they are now going into round number 2. All right. Who are your underrated fighters, in your opinion, that deserve more spotlight in the UFC? Oh, man. That's good. I go back to my underdog, Shavkat. I think simply because he doesn't talk the best English and he's not a crap talker, he doesn't really talk trash, that he doesn't get a lot of attention media wise because he's not out there like yapping his mouth and stuff like that. So that would be my 170 guy. Let's see. Fighters that deserve more spotlight in the UFC. That's a good one. I'm gonna have to circle back to that. That one needs a little bit more in-depth thinking on that one. Since I've never had an energy drink before, IDK, when I'll be free through my job has been killing me. It's all right. I'm gonna give you a couple energy drinks, and they're good quality energy drinks, so they'll keep you up through work. Do I have a Facebook page? Yes, I do have a Facebook page. It's Amun Cosme, Moon, and the last name is Cosme. And Simon and Bautista are now coming out to round 2. Ooh. These guys are throwing with bad intentions. What's the best flavor of F3? So they have 3 caffeinated versions, and then they have 2 rest and recovery versions. My favorite rest and recovery flavor is the orange dreamsicle. I mean, it's the orange mood. It tastes like an orange dreamsicle. And then the other one is we caught him. The other one is the tropical theory. It's like a berry flavor. So good. And that one has caffeine in it. That one has, and the caffeine that you got in these drinks come from green tea extract, so it doesn't give you the jitters or you feel like all extra like crazy. Right now, I think Bautista is probably edging out this round, but it's very interesting. Oh, because it's a back and forth, and like no one really wants to give ground. These are when you have like two very comparable fighters, as in they're both competent in their grappling and their striking. So the rounds are a little bit hard to judge because they're both aggressive. They're not. No one's just playing the counter game. They're striking effectively, and there have been a couple opportunities for takedowns. Like right now, Simon just shot in for a double. But Bautista is doing a great job of securing. He's kind of pre-setting up that switch if he lifts so he can switch. He's doing a great job of defending. This is I hate this position on the cage, which is just the neutral position. So I've been doing a lot of work this camp from this position just because I hate it. Ooh, good way to reverse the position by Bautista. To get back to the boom. Get back to the questions. Oh, boom. Oh, let's see. Boom. Let's get back to the questions. Which fight is happening now? I'm at work. You got to join the million stream, bro. Kalik, you got to help support your brother, bro. You got to go to the link in my story and join the million chat. But they're on the third fight of the night, Simon versus Bautista, the bantamweights. And right now, they're literally just in the middle of the cage, kind of just fainting and trading. And these are some pretty stout-looking 35ers, bro. These dudes are jacked. I always have people tell me, man, you look big for a 35er. And I'm like, man, when I go in, I weigh in the next day of the fight, I'm not that big. I just carry muscle well. But these guys, like, Simon looks. Oh! I don't know if he just ate that head kick or if he's just playing it off really well. Bautista caught him, I wouldn't say very cleanly, but he kind of clipped him with a head kick, with a lead side head kick as he was slipping. And he's not like on skates, but he's either just got a hell of a chin or he's got the best poker face ever because he ate that head kick and didn't really flinch. He kind of moved a little bit, but that looked hard. Ooh, boom, okay, boom. This is I'm a root for Bautista Cat only because his name sounds similar to Batista, and he used to do MMA. Hey, right now, Bautista's actually if I was scoring the fight, I would have Bautista winning, but it's not like significant. Like I said, these guys are very evenly matched. Bautista's not ranked, and Simon is ranked in the 15. And it's always, I like when you see guys like this because it goes back to the question that that Santiago put in is like, hey, who do you have as underrated fighters or guys that you would like to get more notoriety by the UFC? I think anybody just outside the top 15 or in the top 15, sometimes these guys fight harder than the top ranked contenders because they feel like they have a little bit more to prove getting into the actual fights, breaking the actual top 10s and stuff like that. Oh, Kalik's in there. Yo. He said, I see Doggo. Thanks for streaming. Of course, little bro. If y'all don't, Doggo, that's Riot. Riot. Come here. Riot. Come here. Look at the camera. Look there. Riot. Riot, look that way. Look this way. Look. Say what's up. Okay. Maybe we'll put Riot in the Lunar Unlimited shirt. Never!
Oh, that would be so cool. Maybe we can get him a bandana.
Lunar Unlimited. When Millions comes out with bandanas,
bandanas.
We'll get Riot a bandana. Boom. Given that Jim Miller is about to break his own record, how do you perceive the friendly competition between Andrei Arlovsky and Miller in their race to become UFC all-time appearance leaders? I think, number one, hey, what up, Shane? My man Alexander Shank is in the IG chat. Hey, everybody in the IG chat, I'm about to make my IG chat nil. You got to go over to millions. That way I can continue to answer these questions. Have a chance to win some free merch. I have memorabilia on my millions. I only have 4 more signed posters. So if you want a signed poster, go to my millions and check it out. I also have some pretty cool merchandise. I have my Lunar Unlimited shirts. They have my Lunar Unlimited logo on the front. And they also have some shirts that have the saying in the back. And I even have shirts that have Welcome to the Moon Show for my upcoming title fight for UFL 4. Which will be taking place in Arizona. The date is to be decided, but it's looking like February, March time. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all want to support, go to that millions and check out my streams as well as the merchandise and follow me on the Millions platform where you don't have to worry about the Instagram algorithms not showing you everything that the fighters have going on. All right? So check that out. But let's see. Boom. As far as Jim Miller goes, number one, I think Jim Miller has what is the number of professional fights? And he's never missed weight once. We know one of these fights got canceled because someone missed weight by 3.5 pounds, so the fight was scrapped. Just the professionalism that Jim Miller is able to show, never missing weight, has, like you said, breaking his own record for most UFC appearances of is just absolutely ridiculous. My head coach, Cole, so my head coach is Cole Miller, and whenever we like to make jokes because fighters would make very out there jokes, some of the fighters at the gym was like, oh, the best Miller just fought tonight, and they always refer to Jim Miller because Cole Miller fought 20 times for the UFC, but Jim Miller, I don't even know the number now, but I think he holds the record. But what's more impressive is how he continues to cut weight. He is extremely intelligent individual if you ever hear him talk. And I think he has a book out and a diet book and nutritionist. How he takes care of his body is got to be one of the number one things that I'm more impressed with. To fight that many times for the UFC, I think Jim Miller will outlast Arlovsky simply because of the weight division. The weight class Arlovsky is in versus the weight class Miller is in. Those big dudes hit hard, and it only takes one of those hits to change your life. And those guys hit absolutely ridiculously hard. And he was in the fight with DaCosta earlier. Costa earlier. I forgot the gentleman's full name, but I don't know how he's still doing it. I don't know how Arlovsky's still doing it. I don't know how Jim Miller's still doing it. But yeah. Hey, what up, Lathan? Hey man, y'all gotta go jump into Millions chat and just I can keep y'all posted on what's going on with these fights. The link's in the bio. Sign up for free. Doesn't cost anything. And then we'll continue this chat in Millions. I'm about to let go of the Instagram live feed. All right, guys. Boom. I think if it was a competition between Jim Miller and Andrei Arlovsky, who would have the most appearances ever or just over the course of time, I think Jim Miller wins that friendly competition just because of the weight class and the guys he fights at that weight class are a lot less damage than Arlovsky. They both take damage, but it'd be a lot less damage. All right. Boom. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Good looks on the Lunar hoodie. The red one goes hard. Appreciate that, Khalid. Khalid got the red Lunar Unlimited hoodie with the positive affirmation in the back. Ooh, Bautista's turning it on. Simon keeps shooting for these takedowns, and he's really putting the pressure on, but Bautista is letting his hands go. It's 45 seconds left in this third round, and we got 2 more fights. One more fight, and then the main event with Johnny Walker. My man Eric of Lunar Visual said he got Johnny Walker with a knockout finish. So very plausible. We know Johnny Walker has that. Boom, boom, boom. Picked up Bautista and bought him. Yes, that's the thing. If you can pick up your opponent, bring them to the other side of the cage, that's an actual tactic. It's not just to look cool. Everybody thinks it looks cool, picking up somebody and taking them to the other side of the cage. But you want to pick up your opponent, and if you're not in your corner, you want to move them to your corner so they're further away from their corner so they don't hear as good of instructions, and then you hear instructions right next to your corner. I actually, what up? Alexander Shank in the chat. If y'all don't follow Shank, go follow Alexander Shank. Go to my friends list on my Instagram. Just Google Alexander Shank. You'll see the best fight of all time. Me versus him for like $2. I'm exaggerating. We fought more than $2. Me versus him for UFC Fight Pass on Icon 1 down in West Palm Beach, Florida. Watch two light-skinned brothers try to absolutely decapitate each other in front of Jorge Masvidal. So shout out to Shank. Papa Shank. Got a kid now, so. All right. But, yeah. But, yeah, so I actually did that in my last fight. I didn't pick the guy up on one side of the cage and take him down to the other side of the cage, but we was on my side. What up, Dahlia? Who's that? Oh, Jimmy. Hey, what's up, brother? But, yeah, in my fight, we circled and the guy's back was against the cage, and it was where my corner was. So I shot a takedown. When I shot the takedown, I picked him up, and I took him down right there, and I'm able to hear my corner. And so if you look at when I took him down, I think there was a minute and 20-something seconds left. So my corner was like, hey, it's a minute and 20. You don't have to, like, try and finish it right here. Established position. So they're literally talking to me, and his corner's all the way on the other side, so they couldn't even hear what – like, he can't even hear what he's saying because he's got to worry about me ground and pound, dropping elbows. And I'm cool, calm, and collected. My corner's like, hey – pick up the pace a little bit. We got 60 seconds. So 60 seconds, I move from my top half guard to mount. After mount, I start dropping elbows and the punches. He rolls over, about to give up the back. And as soon as I start to take the neck, start to go for the neck, he rolls back over to mount. And then I hear my team say, hey, man, we got 45 seconds. And as this is going on, I'm able to just stay in tune with my team. So that's an actual tactical thing when fighters pick a fighter up. It's not just so you can pick them up and look cool. Well, most of the time, it's not just so you can pick them up and look cool. You're picking them up and you're trying to take them to your corner so they can have less clear instructions and you can have clear instructions on how to finish the fight. Yo, Mike Connolly. Yo, you got to go in and join. If y'all don't follow Mike, got to go follow Mike first. But you got to go and join the Million Stream. The Million Stream is free. The link is in my bio as well as on my story. And what I'm doing is I'll be doing a giveaway. I have memorabilia if you like. I have 4 signed posters. Conley. Dude, I always mess up your last name. I'm tripping. My bad. And then I have merchandise that I'll do a giveaway for maybe a free shirt or a hoodie or something like that. All right. So, all right. I'm about to exit out the IG stream. Y'all go ahead and join me on my millions. All right. All right. We are all on millions now. Boom. Boom, boom. Hey, facts. You see how you heard what Alexander said? Y'all all need to be buying shirts. Hey, I got some fire shirts, man. I got positive affirmation shirts. And then I also got the Welcome to the Moon Show shirts. Then I have the Lunar Unlimited, the Eclipse shirts. So you have a couple different options. And if you're into anime, you have your Coach Moon shirts. And all my family's into animation. So, like, they all have the Coach Moon shirts. So we have Coach Moon shirts from the youth all the way to the adult sizes, too. And I'm going to read out this full UFC 297 card for you guys because it is going to be absolutely crazy. All right. So it's going to be a good card, but I think obviously the Sean Strickland versus Duplessis is going to be obviously it's the main event. But after all the stuff that happened at the last UFC event where they got into first of all, Duplessis said a lot of personal stuff about Sean Strickland and his dad and his childhood and all kind of crazy stuff after Sean Strickland already had kind of put all that information out there already. But there's certain things that you kind of refrain from saying as a fighter, just respectfully. But some people don't care. It's the fight business, and they don't care. Yep, definitely see the messages. But yes, It says, what are your impressions of the UFC 297? I think the UFC 297 is good. I would have liked to see a couple more heavy hitters on the card. But I think that main event is going to be what is the big draw for there. But the rest of the main card was decent to me. But I'm really excited about this Strickland versus Duplessis fight. I think Strickland will get it done, and I don't want to look past Duplessis, but I'm thinking if Strickland gets this done, are they going to be trying to set up a rematch for Izzy, or is Izzy actually going to be taking, like he said, this 2 or 3 years off? But yeah, I'm really excited about that fight because you have two people with unorthodox style. It kind of reminds me of, if you remember, Chuck Liddell and Keith Jardine. Both of these guys did not strike super technically sound, but both of these guys got so many knockouts and TKOs because they were unorthodox strikers. Duplessis, you saw what he did to Robert Whittaker. Even though he was unorthodox, he was able to implement a game plan that was absolutely genius. When you looked at the film, you realized that Robert Whittaker throws so many jabs, and he does this blitz style where he gets in and gets out. Duplessis nullified that by running a high guard, and anytime he crashed into that high guard, throwing those awkward power shots. And what did he do? He caught Whittaker. And it was like, if you just looked at the tape, if I'm not mistaken, Morning Combat did a breakdown of the tape, and I was like, man, he followed the game plan to a T, and it led him to the road to victory. And it made it look easy because of the game plan. And that's why I always say, if you focus on winning, you might end up with a loss. But if you focus on what can get you the win, you're more than certain going to come out with the win. So you don't have to focus on the win. Focus on the game plan, because your game plan is what leads you to victory. Only if you're absolutely following the game plan and it's not working, then you got to call the audible and switch things up. Boom, 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 boom. Do you use this app? Do I use the app Verdict MMA? No, I do not use the app Verdict MMA. What is Verdict MMA? Maybe you can help me out. I've never heard of it. Boom. Let's see. Could you share a training tip that has been crucial for your endurance and technique in the octagon? I think as far as endurance-wise, if you want more endurance in your sport, you have to train sports-specific training. So you can do the running, you can do long runs, you can do sprints, you can do assault bike, you can do all that. You can do all that stuff. But if you're not doing sports-specific training, then you're not going to get the maximum benefits you can get from training. Number one is being efficient with technique. The more efficient you are with technique, the more energy that you'll have accessible in order to do whatever it is you need to do. So efficiency is key. When you start getting all wild and throwing or in grappling, you get caught. You either get caught with strikes or you get caught in submission or bad positions. So being more efficient, as being, as technical as possible, will automatically boost what you can do over the course of time, being endurance. So if I start flailing and getting out of posture, out of stance and things like that, then your gas tank starts to go down a little bit quicker. So I like to do sport-specific training as well as learning how to be calm in the chaos, because there's a book that I read by Jim Quick called Quick Learning. It's KWIK. And he had an interesting study that was done by a neurologist, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like the brain in weight only weighs 1% to 2% of total body weight, but it consumes 20% of the body's energy. So if you're in there fighting and you're doing too much thinking and you're being too reactive, and you start to you don't embrace the chaos, then you'll definitely lose conditioning, because overthinking and panicking and panic striking and just trying to win every exchange will put you in a deficit and definitely drain your gas tank. But as far as training tips, I would say do sport-specific training, meaning I do endurance training as far as long distance endurance training, but I also do a lot of short goes, because nothing in MMA is stand still. So we do positional training, and we'll do positional training goes for 3-minute goes or 2-minute goes, putting in a bad position. And every time you get out of that bad position, you go back to that position. So what that does is it teaches you that, hey, after you get out this bad position and you're tired, go back to that position so you can work your way out of it when you're tired. Because when you're tired, you start to lose more technique, and like you also lose a lot of strength. So the more strength and stuff that you don't have, the more you have to rely on technique. Everybody's strong when you first start fighting. But as the fight goes on and you start to lose a little bit of that strength, technique is what's going to last forever. So we do sport-specific training, and a lot of times it's in the bad positions, because not even in a cocky way. Like when you're in a good position, you can if you're on top of somebody, punching somebody in the face, somebody can tweak, hey, just block this, just do this, and you can stay on the top position. But you're in the bad position and you got somebody raining down punches on you and elbows on you, you start to panic. You could start to panic if you've never been there before, or you start to kind of do the wrong things to get out or use a lot of strength, and then that could put you behind the ball again. So we do a lot of sport-specific training from bad positions. I know I talk a lot, guys, but I try to give you guys a full explanation. So in short, basically to improve technique and endurance training, I like to do positional training from bad positions. And anytime you work your way out of the position, go back to the bad position. That way you can work out of that position when you are lacking strength and your gas tank is going down. That way you have to rely solely on the technique to do the majority of the work. And that's how I like to train throughout training camps. And it gives me a boost of confidence to know that, hey, if I'm in this position for 2 or 3 minutes, I can find a way to get out 3 or 4 times, even if I'm tired, if I rely on the technique and the proper ways to get out without making the situation worse. So that's it. If there was a 3-minute timer or a 2-minute timer, I would go set the timer, start in the bad position. If you get out the bad position in 10 seconds, you go right back to the bad position, and now you have 1 minute and 50 seconds to do it again. You're going to do that again for 2 minutes until you just are absolutely tired, and you will not win every time. You will lose a lot, but you will also learn a lot. So that will help you mentally learn how to work through the position, as well as physically improve your technique when you do not have the strength to do so. How can platforms like Millions enhance the fans' experience for mixed martial arts enthusiasts? If you are a mixed martial arts fan or enthusiast and you're not on Millions, you are missing a direct chance to link with whoever your favorite athlete is directly. A lot of the big-time athletes do not run their own social media, or if you message them on social media, you might not even get a response, because it might go to the request folder, and you got to imagine if it's someone who has 200, 300, 4,000 followers, how many fans are messaging them. They probably don't even have the time to go through all that. Some of these athletes don't even manage their own accounts. They have an account manager, because they're doing what professional athletes do. They're seeking sponsorships. They're training. They're teaching. They're doing all these other aspects, not just sitting around answering thousands of emails and chats and stuff like that. But with Millions, it is going to instantly boost the fans or the enthusiastic MMA followers experience, simply because it puts you in direct contact with your favorite athlete. You get to know what they're doing with their career, when they're doing it. You have a chance to contact them directly via the AMA, which is the Ask Me Anything videos, or the shout out videos. You can request. You can book athletes for events. You can join them on their live streams like you guys are doing today here with me. And the same way that I'm enjoying the fights, you get to enjoy them with me. So it's kind of like we're doing it together. So you're almost like spending time with some of your favorite athletes. And speaking of that, we got Jim Miller and Benitez. It just started round 1. They just came out. And obviously, I'm going for Miller. All right. All right. Tried and true. Ooh, he just hit him with a nice low kick. He's so calm in there. There's nothing that Jim Miller hasn't seen in the cage. He's literally been in there. I miss when they showed the records. But, like, if I'm not mistaken, he has the record for most UFC appearances or UFC fights ever, if I'm not mistaken. I got to Google, see how many. Oh, good body shot. He's such a good martial artist. Very, very impressed that he's been able to do it at such a high level for a long period of time. Like fighting is 100. You have 100% injury rate. There's no person that's going to fight for a very long period of time who's not going to get injured. So it's like he's been able to maintain his mental and physical health, and he's not just out there fighting 3-round fights. He knocked his last opponent out. It was clean too. His opponent was orthodox. He was southpaw, or vice versa. And I just remember him slipping and ripping. Yeah, his opponent was orthodox. He was southpaw. He slipped and then ripped a shot and flatlined this guy. And I'm like, dude, Jim Miller's still doing it. Yes, I like what Millions does. It helps out not just the athletes, but it's a huge platform for the fans as well. Like I said, I've mentioned it almost on every stream. I have a couple thousand followers, and all of them don't even get to see the content that I put on Instagram. So sometimes I'll put stuff on Instagram, and the rest of my followers don't even see it because Instagram only shows it to about 10-15% of your following. And you don't have to worry about that with Millions. If somebody wants to buy a shirt or get a shout out video or book me for an event or get in direct contact, they can do that through Millions. So it increases the amount of time that a fan can actually get to get that experience with the athlete that they like. So it's a great platform, and I always recommend it to any of the up and coming athletes or athletes who might already have a decent following. It's like, hey man, you better get on Millions. They help you with your shirt, they help you with live streams, and if you got a lot of fans and they contact you on other platforms, you have one area where you can kind of put all those eggs in one basket where they can do all those things for you, and you don't have to worry about 7 different things. Right now, it's a great first round, but Jim Miller's definitely winning so far. Still a minute and 50 seconds left in the fight, in the first round. And after this fight, we have the main event. So I'll stay tuned. Luke Cage fighting. Oh, he's doing good with his head position. He had double unders, but he put his head under because if you get double unders with your head too far away from your body, it's a little bit easier to lose that position. Good. There's 1 minute left in this first round. Let's see if Millions were to create a signature line of merchandise for you, what design element would you want to incorporate? Well, I think that's pretty self-explanatory because there's been the moon has been incorporated into every design that we have done. Obviously, the name brand is Lunar Unlimited. My nickname is Moon, and so is my fight name. I just stuck with that. I didn't want to come up with nothing corny. You know, sometimes when fighters give themselves a nickname, it come off kind of cheesy. Amun the Crusher of all fighters, Cosme. Like, nah, that's kind of trash. So Moon has been my nickname since I was younger. So every time they ask me as an amateur, like, what's your fight name going to be? I'm like, I don't know, just whatever comes. For nicknames, they got to just be given to you. You can't think of a nickname too long, otherwise it comes off as like, it's not cool. And so just kind of ran with Moon. So as far as a signature line of merchandise, if you look at all my merchandise so far, pretty much you see that Lunar Unlimited, obviously, it's Moon incorporated. It has the moon incorporated into it. Then my positive affirmation right here. It's a good day to be alive, but an even better day to be great. And it's on the darker side. It's on the darker side of the moon, and then this is the lighter side of the moon. So kind of just showing the different moon phases, and that goes with my brand. This is the first logo that I came out with, and then the second one is the eclipse logo. So it's like showing all the different phases of the moon. And before I came out with my first shirt, I said I wanted to do what's called a main 8, which are the main 8 phases of the moon. So it's just like, the full moon, quarter moon, half moon, 3/4 moon, the eclipse, and then going all the way back. So it was like 8 main phases of the moon. There are a lot of phases, but there were 8 main phases. So I said, hey, I want to come out with a minimum of 8 shirts, and when I do that, I will call that my main 8. So that will be my main 8, and I want to have my signature line of merchandise be Moon Incorporated. I like what the moon stands for, and just kind of what it represents. In its relation to. Ooh, sorry, he is tearing his lead leg up. Got distracted. Jim Miller's doing what Jim Miller does. And he's really putting on a good striking clinic. And he's tearing his lead leg up. Oof. He just checked that kick too. Yeah, but that answers the question. As far as if Millions were to create a signature line of merchandise, it would be the design element obviously would have to be something moon related. For me, for my personal brand. And so far, all of the designs and everything that I've had so far is design related. It has something moon related in it. So even the anime one of me just standing there, there's a moon in the background. And that picture is I think it's from my pro debut. My friend's an artist, and he does anime and animation, and he draws comics and all those kind of things. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna make something for you." I made a anime version of me. So, ooh, oh. I love the way Jim Miller mixes up his strikes. He mixes up the levels of his strikes, so he goes high, low as far as like hitting the head and the body, and then he's really following up on that very traditional. That's just a traditional combination for no matter what type of striking you do. It could be regular kickboxing, Dutch style kickboxing, Muay Thai, European style kickboxing. Like no matter what style, Brazilian style kickboxing, he's going with this like jab, hook, cross, or hook low kick. So jab, cross, hook, low kick, or hook, low kick. And he's caught him with that low kick, like heavy power on that low kick at least 3 or 4 times. Boom, boom. How would you break down the strategy of the main event we are watching? Are you talking about the strategy of the Miller Benitez fight or the Walker fight? If we're talking about the fight we're currently watching, I think Jim Miller's strategy was to keep it standing. Right now, it ended up on the ground, but he seemed to be the striking seemed to be a little bit back and forth, but he seemed to be doing a better job fighting the other southpaw as far as finishing the combinations with the leg kick. He continued to do that, and then the gentleman closed the distance, so he took him down. And Jim Miller is just an overall – he's just a vet of the game. And there's, like I said, there's no area where he isn't comparable in. And right now this guy's going for submissions. He's going for an armbar, and Jim Miller escapes. As far as the strategy of Jim Miller – ain't no telling. He's just comfortable in every area, and I think he's going to do whatever it takes in whatever area he has to in order to finish the fight. I think standing would give him the best option against Benitez, but right now it's currently on the ground because Benitez got tangled up with him, and he's now on the back. Jim Miller on the back. Let's see how this goes. Oh, he's got a body triangle. Bro, that is the worst. When somebody gets on your back and they lock that body triangle up in, it's so hard to breathe because their legs are just compressing your whole diaphragm, and then you still got to worry about the choke. And while you're worrying about the choke and trying to breathe, you have to then just use your hips to disconnect the figure four. It's a sucky position to be in. I think right now, Jim Miller is currently. Ooh, what should I say? Shown earlier. Foot. Jim Miller's definitely currently winning the fight. And if I was a judge, what are y'all thoughts on the MMA judges currently? Boom. All right, they went to break. Boom. This is. What do you think about Cody Garbrandt potentially making it run back to the top? To be 100% honest, I don't think Garbrandt will make it back to the top of the bantamweight division. I think he's extremely talented, and I don't say extremely talented meaning he doesn't work hard. A lot of times people get that misconstrued, like, oh, okay, this person's talented, so they don't have to work as hard. I think Cody Garbrandt is an extremely talented and hardworking individual, but I think the 3 knockout losses back to back to back a couple of years ago didn't just derail him. I think it kind of put his body and his brain in jeopardy. When you get knocked out, like, really bad, you have to take enough time off to let your brain heal up from that massive concussion. Like, we all saw what happened the last watch party with Bryce Mitchell and Emmett. And Emmett is such a powerhouse. He knocked him out so bad. Like, Bryce Mitchell was flatlined for several minutes. And Bryce Mitchell I love Bryce Mitchell as a fighter. He's so good. And I just love his attitude. And he said it himself. He's going to take about 6 months off from sparring. So he's still going to train, but he's not going to spar because he needs his brain to recover. And that's such a smart move by him, his coach, and his team, for him not to take a fight within the next 6 months, because that knockout was so bad that that definitely did damage. And I think Cody Garbrandt suffered 2 bad knockouts. I think it was the Dillashaw. It was Dillashaw, Munoz. Was it Munoz or Sensao? Dillashaw, Munoz, and another one. He had 3 bad knockouts back to back to back. And then he went down to 25 and Kai Kara France beat him. And I was just like, he's taking too much damage. After taking that significant amount of damage, I don't think he'll have the chin in the 135 division to make it back to the top, even though he has the skill set. I think the thing that hurt Cody Garbrandt the most wasn't his skill set. It was his mindset. Anytime someone hit him, boom, he had to hit them back right away. So he would fight very emotional. And whenever he got into that emotional firefight, he would bite down on his mouthpiece and just start slinging. And when you're trading, it's exactly what it says. It's trading. And if you're trading, then you could hit them and they can hit you. And if you're just banking on you hitting them first or harder, then you're leaving it up to chance, not skill. And he has the skill set as a wrestler and as a striker to mix it up. And now you see it kind of now him doing more wrestling and striking, and he's having a little bit more success. Obviously, he's not fighting the top 5 and top 10 guys. So I don't want to say competition's a lot easier. It's obviously not the toughest of the toughest battles at 135. Still very game opponents, but I don't think he'll make it back up to the top of 135. That's just me speaking from what I saw and where he's at now. You never know in the fight game because no one thought Strickland would beat Izzy, right? No one thought O'Malley would beat Sterling. Not that easy, right? A lot of people thought, including me, thought Colby Covington was going to wrestle Leon Edwards to death. That didn't happen. So it's like you never know in the fight game, but based off of like what happens to your body, Jim Miller with a takedown, what happens to your body and your brain after getting multiple knockouts, I don't see him being able to, with the people that's in line to get to the top of the 135 division again, all the strikers, especially with O'Malley being up there at the top, I don't see him breaking through all the 135ers in order to be the champ again. Maybe he works his way up to be in the top 10, but I don't think he works his way to being champ again. Which upcoming fight do you believe has the potential to be a classic and why? Which upcoming fight has the potential to be a classic and why? Oh!
Dang.
Jim Miller with another finish. He got him back down to the ground, took the back, and got the rear naked choke. I'm telling you, you can't pay for that kind of experience. I don't know. He's got probably like 175 MMA fights. Let me stop. He's pretty old though, but I love it. He's got a bear tattoo across his chest. Dude, what number fight is that for? I gotta Google this. Hold on. What's the record? I know he broke the record. Cowboy had the record, but I gotta get this. What's the record? Let me see. Jim Miller UFC record. So his record is 36-17 with no contest. Now he's got another win. But how many UFC fights has he had? Jim Miller has 26 now UFC victories. Bro. Andre Arlovski has 23. Donald Cerrone has 23. Charles Oliveira has 22. Oh, my God. This is just – the company he's in is just absolutely amazing. But he's kind of pulling away because Andre Arlovski lost his fight tonight. So that is absolutely insane. Upcoming fights. I would have to see. I want to see what they're gonna do with this UFC 300 because like we all know like the Conor and Chandler fight was supposed to be in the works. I'm trying to figure out who has the potential to be a classic. I got to figure out what matchups. Let's go to this. Let's see on who's the 298 matchups. I would have loved to see Khamzat Rakhmonov versus Ramshat. I always mess his name up, but him and Chimaev fight. God, y'all gonna have to excuse me for my pronunciation of all these names. These are harder than think. UFC 298 card. Boom. Let's go to the 298 card. Because we got some great fights coming up. That's the one with Volk and Poirier. You got Neal versus Ian Gary. Oh, you want to talk about fights that have the potential to be a classic? This fight right here. Merab. See, I'm going to mess up that name again. Dvalishvili. Merab. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Merab and Henry Cejudo. That fight has potential to be a classic simply because we know Merab has probably some of the best MMA wrestling in the bantamweight division. He's another dark horse, okay? You want to talk about dark horse? We talked about Rakhmonov. Now we got to talk about Merab because Merab has been kind of marching his way through the bantamweight division, and the only thing that really stopped him from getting a big shot at the top was the fact that his teammate is Aljamain Sterling, and he had the belt, and they wouldn't fight each other. So now that Sterling is moving to the 145 division, we know that the 135 division is open for Merab. And when he pairs his striking up with his grappling, there aren't a lot of people who can stop what he does. He is a machine. I remember he took a dude down like 20 times in a fight. First of all, getting 20 takedowns on someone who's not resisting is hard enough as it is, and to still be able to just do what you do. But to do it against a fully resistant opponent, fighting, getting back up, striking, doing all that, that has the potential to be a classic because you have some of the best MMA wrestling, which is different than regular wrestling, MMA wrestling with Merab against Olympic gold medalist in Henry Cejudo, Triple C, at 135. I like Triple C at 135. I wish he used his wrestling a tad bit more, but I think in this fight he will have no choice but to use more of his wrestling because Merab is going to shoot takedowns. He does not care that Henry Cejudo is a Olympic gold medalist at wrestling. He's going to come in and he wants to prove that he is going to be the number one contender for the title because he obviously wants to fight for the title against O'Malley. And what kind of drama, and you talk about classics, stuff that makes a classic just isn't just a good fight. It's also having a good story. And what better story than Aljamain and Merab in the same division, not fighting each other because they're friends, right? Then Sterling beats Cejudo. Sterling goes and faces O'Malley, and then O'Malley beats Sterling. Now Merab is just demolishing the division. He fights Cejudo. If he beats Cejudo, then he can avenge his best friend's, loss against O'Malley if O'Malley beats Chito Vera in the rematch. So all these things have to fall in place, but that has the makings of a classic story. So when you talk about a classic fight, of basically what makes a classic fight, not just having a good fight, the UFC puts on great fights every single time. But fights are better when they have a story. Think of Khabib and Conor. They had a whole year worth of media story with the whole bus incident and flying from Ireland to Brooklyn and all the drama. It just made for the story one of the most watched UFC events. Conor versus Diaz. Everybody know Conor sells, but the Conor Diaz story, and the first one, short notice, he loses, he comes back. The second one, everybody's still asking, is there a trilogy? Anytime there's great fighters, you know that they can provide a great fight, but when there's a story behind it, it just blows it through the roof because everybody is interested, right? Casual fans, your diehard fans, because if you have a good story, you'll have a lot of eyes and attention on you. And think about Alex Pereira and Izzy, right? Alex Pereira was sitting at a bar, and Izzy is literally doing an interview saying, man, no one's ever going to remember this guy. He's probably sitting at a bar drinking, and he sees the interview at a bar and decides, I'm not doing anything with my life. I'm lost right now. I'm going to get back into the gym after being a K1 champ and go to MMA, and comes to MMA and defeats Izzy again. It's like, that's crazy. They had 4 fights, and he beat Izzy 3 times. That is not by chance. That is a true, hero villain arc story right there. So when you have those kind of stories, it makes for great fights, epic fights, right? Like, come on. So that's yeah, I think that's my fight. The UFC 290. I had to pull up the card because I didn't remember who all the matchups were, but long explanation. But that's why. Great story, potential to be a classic. Merab versus Cejudo. Both have great wrestling. It's a great storyline behind it. Teammate has a chance to beat an Olympic gold medalist, to then try and get the belt that his teammate used to have, lost to O'Malley. If O'Malley does what everybody thinks O'Malley's going to do, don't underestimate Chito Vera because he already beat O'Malley once. But if O'Malley wins that fight and Merab beats Cejudo, these are a lot of ifs, but it's a good story, right? Let's make the best story possible. Then Merab has to avenge Aljamain's loss and bring it back to New Jersey, New York, back to Team Sarah, Matt Sarah, bring that belt back to them. All right. What are your thoughts on Aljo moving up to featherweight? I knew it was only a matter of time. Aljamain is a massive 135er. When I say massive, y'all be like, oh, man, he looks big and cut and in shape. That dude is like a 170-something pound individual, and he just has the discipline to diet and get down to bantamweight, which that is massive. The day after the fight, he was back up to 170-something 70-something pounds, which is absolutely ridiculous. Some people don't like it. They call it cheating and stuff like that. But look, if you find a way to make the weight and you can perform at that weight, then I can't really say nothing about it. Every fighter's always looking for the advantage, trying to be bigger, stronger, faster. So whatever that might take. And Aljamain, moving up to 45, I think is going to be more beneficial. I think he might perform better because he won't have to kill himself to make that weight, even though he performed amazing at 135. He fought a couple 5-round fights against Peter Yan, against Henry Cejudo. So he had the gas tank too against was it Munoz? Was it Mark? Was it Munoz? 35er? Munoz. There's so many people with the same last names. I always mix up the first and the last name. 135er. Y'all help me out. What is 135er's name? Not Rafaela Sensao. It's Munoz. Boom. I'm drawing a blank right now. But Aljamain has the gas tank at 35. But I think as he's getting up there in age and your body starts to give you a little bit less when it comes to weight cutting, that it is a bright idea for him to move to 145, and he might even perform better. He's about the same size as the other 45ers, so I think it'd be interesting to see him go against the other 45ers, where now he will not have the size and strength advantage, and I like the move for him health-wise. I don't know how he's going to perform there. His jiu-jitsu is still obviously is just A1. His grappling and that Sarah BJJ is just absolutely phenomenal. He has unorthodox striking. He does strike with his chin a little bit high, and there are a lot of great strikers in the 145 division. So I think he's gonna have to rely on his grappling. But the guys at that weight class are going to be a little bit bigger or close to the same size as him, a little bit stronger. So I think it'll provide a good test for Aljo. Greatest anime arc ever. Are you asking me what the greatest anime arc ever? Because I haven't even seen that many animes, but you already know my answer. Greatest story ever told, Avatar: The Last Airbender. No story like it. I was literally working out in the gym the past couple of days, and I'm listening to Avatar compilations because it's just that fire. Okay, like I'm not even watching it. I'm listening to compilations of character arcs, Zuko, Azula, things like that. Oh, Izzy anime arc. Oh yeah. The Izzy Pereira, the Izzy in the Alex Pereira. That is the greatest. Like they need to make that an anime or a movie. Can you share your thoughts on the effectiveness of the fight card main event style? Boom. Can you share your thoughts on the effectiveness of the fight cards main event fighting style? Boom, 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 boom. Thoughts on the Legend of Korra? I know you hate it. All right, I got a couple questions. I'm gonna answer Jordan first because this is a much easier question to answer. I didn't like Legend of Korra. I even tried to go back and rewatch it. It was just hard to rewatch because it didn't follow a lot of the guidelines that they had, the foundation that they put in God, what do you call it? Avatar: The Last Airbender. They changed pivotal parts of the stories, like how the benders initially got their powers, where it came from, and then they had a very cheesy way on how the first Avatar became to be. The spirit world was different than the spirit world in Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was very confusing. The only thing that it had poor character development for the main characters, in my opinion, but the character development for the villains were absolutely amazing. Okay, when I say amazing, I think the shining moment in Legend of Korra were the villains. Zahir, bro, one of the greatest villains ever. And then I was like, why do I like him as a villain so much, but I don't even really like the show? And then I realized one of my favorite villains of all time is Bane from Batman. And Zahir's story is pretty much Bane's story, all right? Born in the darkness, he's locked away in isolate prison, deep down, away from everybody. He breaks out. He tries to liberate the world. He has a great speech at the Earth Kingdom wall, breaking down the shackles of and like liberating the world. And Bane had the same speech when he broke down crashed the stock market and had that same speech in front of the bank. Like a lot of parallels with the Red Lotus. Yeah, I did like the Red Lotus. The Red Lotus was dope, but I like the villains in the Legend of Korra. But I just the whole story and everything. I just couldn't. I couldn't rock with it. I just couldn't rock with it. It wasn't my favorite. Now, okay. So as far as this Johnny Walker fight, right? So we know that they're showing the highlights from the first fight, and they had a good first fight, and it was ended by the illegal knee, right? The illegal knee. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's kind of crazy because, like, the doctor asked Johnny Walker, he was like, "Are you good to go?" And he gave him, like, some kind of, like, answer. And the doctor was like, "Nah, he's not good. That's the end of the fight." And Johnny Walker was upset. But he got kneed while one knee was down on the ground. And the doctor deemed him not fit to fight. And then they still had really bad blood after that fight. So I'm glad they rescheduled this fight. As far as fighting style, dude, Johnny Walker is a great athlete. I remember when everybody was talking about how he had the athleticism to possibly give John Jones a run for his money, because that's the kind of talent that the kid showed. And then he fights so wild and unpredictable sometimes that he puts himself in bad positions. And you saw that when he got knocked out. He hit a backflip after a fight and got injured. It's like the same thing that makes people great makes people not so great. You know, it could be your a double-edged sword. But here's another name. I'm sorry, I have problems with some of the Russians' names. Ankalov, I think, is how you pronounce his name. I think he presents like one of the biggest challenges for Johnny Walker, with his level of grappling, but the way he throws, as far as like with his the intent behind. Some people strike to hit, some people strike to hurt, and that's a big difference. You get real technical strikers, like when they hit, they're worried about landing clean shots and scoring points, and then when some people strike, they strike to hurt. They are striking with intentions to do damage. Josh Emmett, when he hits you, he's trying to decapitate you. Oh my God, what's the gentleman? Yair Rodriguez. Everything he throws is with intentions to end your fight career. It's not to win the fight. If Yair's kicking you, there have been at least 3 fights where I see at the end of the fight when Yair walks out, his foot is broken or he's limping out the cage, because he throws with such reckless abandon that he's not concerned about himself because he's so concerned with finishing you. And I think Ankalov, I think if I'm saying it right, presents a lot of problems for Johnny Walker. But like I said, Johnny Walker's athleticism and unorthodox way of striking is very tricky, and he's always one punch away or a jump knee away from finishing the fight. But I think Ankalov probably is going to have, like I said, he put him in a bad position in the last fight, and I think maybe he does it again. I know I picked Walker to win the fight, but I think I'm talking myself out of it. Boom. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm a huge proponent of styles make fights. Just because I tell someone, like, if A beats B and B beats C, doesn't mean A beats C. So, like, it doesn't work like that, because Moon beat John and John beat Alex. Moon can beat Alex. It doesn't work like that, because, like, our styles could negate each other, or our styles could work for each other. Like, you ever see 2 wrestlers fight? What do? Not wrestle. They strike, because their wrestling negates each other. They're like, man, I'm not about to waste all this energy trying to take down another person who's good at taking people down or stopping people from getting taken down. So, okay, noted. This is interesting. Johnny Walker has ankle sleeves on now, and there seems to be tape under his ankle sleeves. I don't remember if he wore that his last fight. I don't think he did. I'm always leery when I see that because I either think one of two things. I'm thinking this person either plans on doing a lot of kicking, right? So they're protecting around the ankle, or they injured their ankle, instep, or foot area during training, and they're trying to compress it as much during the fight to minimize damage. That's what I think. I've seen sometimes fighters wear it. What's his name? Henry Cejudo wore it when he fought Marlon Moraes, but he had injured the instep before, and then it's crazy because Marlon Moraes came out throwing hard, low-level instep kicks and was messing his ankle up. But his ankle was already messed up prior to going in, and he wore the ankle sleeves. So I'm kind of curious because I can't recall. I never really noticed if Johnny Walker wore ankle sleeves before. I'm gonna Google this to see, make sure I'm not going crazy. Did they wear ankle sleeves the last fight? I just put in Johnny Walker, not Waller. My bad. Let's see. Does Johnny Walker wear ankle sleeves in fights? That's the most generic way to look up something. No, I was right. Hold on. In the last one, he did. Hold on, he did. So he wore it in his last fight, where it got I guess no contest or DQ. He wore them then, but he didn't wear them before. That's interesting. I wonder if that's just something new that he likes to do. When he finished Paul Craig, he wasn't wearing them. He wore them against Ankalaev before. Yeah, there are a lot of other fights where he doesn't have it, but I don't know. I'm always interested on that because I'm biased since I watched the season of Tough, but I'm excited to see Brian Battle Evolution in the UFC. Brian Battle's Evolution. Oh yeah, I definitely want to see. So I don't know, but I've seen. I don't know him personally, but Shamik Harvey, he's a 125er. He fought in Atlanta, and he's one of Ryan Battle's teammates. They train out of the same gym in North Carolina, and we follow each other on Instagram. I follow a lot of other fighters, especially guys I see on Tough or on the local circuits. Shamik's actually doing pretty good. Chase, speaking of Chase, boom! Chase fought Shamik for B2, the B2 promotion. He won because Chase is a beast. But yeah. Oh, I'm all done with that one. What you doing, bro? You just standing here? Right, we're live on Millions. Can you say hello? Hello? You look this way. All right, we are here for the main event. All right, right, you gotta sit. Thank you. Dude, Johnny Walker is just 6'6", 205. I wonder how much weight he cuts to get to 205 because he doesn't look like he's like 240 or anything like that. But he has the frame to carry that much weight. 82-inch reach. And this is why they were saying, like, initially they thought he would be a problem for John Jones. Just because his height, his athleticism, his unorthodox striking ability. But John Jones is the GOAT. Well, we got to deem Mighty Mouse the GOAT first. You know, OG GOAT, Mighty Mouse, and John Jones. They're like on the Mount Rushmore of GOAT MMA. All right, here we go. All right, it's about to start. I had Johnny Walker until I literally broke down my own analysis and I changed my own mind. But do I want to go with Walker? All right, I'm going with Unkelov. I changed my own mind. I initially took Walker, but after just taking my own analysis, I'm going to go with Unkelov. Anybody in the chat, if you can pick who wins and what round they win in, you can either pick one of three options. You can get a Welcome to the Moon Show apparel, so a shirt, a Welcome to the Moon Show shirt or a hoodie. A free case of F3, flavor of your choice, or a $25 cash prize via Cash App or Venmo. All right. Those are the three prizes. $25 cash, a Welcome to the Moon Show shirt or hoodie, or a case of F3, flavor of your choice. And they are absolutely delicious. I got these three flavors. This is the original. It's good. It's like a cola type deal. This one is Citrus Clarity, which is good. It's like a 7-Up or Sprite. Peach Mood is delicious. And then the Orange Mood tastes like an orange dreamsicle. It's so good. All right. My pick, Unkelov. What round? Let's see. All right. Oh, see, like I said, Walker he does very unpredictable stuff, but sometimes that unorthodox and stuff like that kind of gets him caught up. But that was crazy. He did a spinning back fist back kick, and here he goes again with some more craziness. I think Ankalaev will weather the storm and start putting some just traditional strikes, and he's a southpaw too. Good check. Oh, he just checked the kick and threw a hard inside kick to Walker. Anytime you have like an orthodox versus a southpaw, you're always looking for that foot positioning of the lead foot, and the effective strikes you can throw will be dependent on where your foot placement is, either inside or outside. It's not that they're ineffective, but one person will have more effective power shots if their foot is on the outside. Ooh, see, here you go, Johnny Walker throwing all this crazy stuff in the first round.
I don't think he had his ankles taped last
year. Yeah, it wasn't taped. It was sleeves, but it wasn't taped. But he has tape underneath them. You can see it. Guys, I have a friend who does a lot of kickboxing, and he would wear the sleeves during his fights. And I'm like, man, I don't know about that. Ooh. Especially if you're going to do a lot of kicking, you'll run into a lot of elbows and stuff like that. Oh, Khalid said, I walked away. How do we win? All right, all you got to do is pick the person and how they're going to finish the fight. If you can pick correctly, you can win. Boom. So either Walker or Ankalaev, and then how they finish. So how they finish and what round. All right. First round KO, second round KO, sub, ground and pound. You tell me how it finishes, who finishes it, and when. If you're right, round three for who?
He said
Walker, KO, TKO, round 3. Gotcha. All right. Boom. All right. Khalik is up. He wins. Gets a Welcome to the Moon Show shirt. I talked myself out of the Walker pick.
I think
It's a 5. Oh, I forgot. This is a 5-round fight. I don't think it'll go all 5. Not the way they're striking. One misstep.
Ooh, ooh.
Yep. See, that's what happens when you get the ankle sleeves. It's easier to catch too.
Yep.
Ooh, he should step through with the right hand. That's good. They had a good first round. I thought Johnny Walker was winning the first round, but it looks like it's starting to tip towards Ankalov's in his favor. Just he's putting a little bit more pressure, and he's landing a little bit more cleaner strike, a little bit more clean strikes than Walker. Walker was throwing a lot of crazy wild stuff, but Ankalov strikes looks like they're just landing a little bit cleaner. Low blow?
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like, I didn't hit you low. He's like, look at the camera, bro. You definitely hit me low. He said, wait, 5 rounds? I'm going to say round 4. All right. All right. Khalik says round 4. I'm going to see if we can get any more people from IG to get in this stream. See if we can get a couple more people from IG in the stream. Oh, oh, he's got a translator. I was like, why are there 2 people talking to him? Mark Goddard had a translator. I don't think he speaks Russian. Yo, what up, brother? Here streaming the UFC fight nights. We're on the main event, the Walker versus Ankalov, and like I said, we're doing a little giveaway. So if you guys want to join, want a chance to win either one of 3 things. I have new T-shirts that dropped, the Welcome to the Moon Show shirts for my championship fight coming up. You can either win Welcome to the Moon Show shirt or hoodie. You can win a free case of F3 Energy, flavor of your choice, or $25. So if you just want the cash, let me know. I can Cash App, send Venmo, all that fancy stuff. All right. But what you have to do is pick a winner. Who's going to win? He's doing capoeira. Johnny Walker's doing capoeira in there. You have to pick who's going to win in what round. If you pick who wins in what rounds in the millions chat, then yeah, you get that's how you win. It's very simple. All you got to do is go to the millions chat. The links in my story. What up? The links in my story, as well as in my bio. All you got to do is click on that. It's free to sign up, just with your email address. If you jump in the millions chat, you get a chance to win either $25, Cash App, or Venmo. Or you can choose a free case of F3. I'll just ship it straight to your house. I have a sponsorship with F3. I won a sponsorship with F3 after my first round knockout on the UFL tournament in the start of last year. So you can either win a free case of F3, $25 cash, or you can get a Welcome to the Moon Show shirt and or hoodie on me. All you got to do is go into the millions chat and then pick who wins the fight in what round. Next time I'll do some trivia. Last time I did trivia. I got my coworkers excited for your next fight. Hell yeah. So, obviously the fight is in Arizona, so if y'all obviously I don't know if Lil Bro's making it to the Arizona, but you know you're gonna watch it. my gas tank a little low now. 25 would give me half. LOL. Well, you said round 4 by knockout, so we'll do that. Hey Ryan, I changed my pick at the last minute, bro. I know he asked me. He said, "Man, who you going with tonight's fight?" I said Walker, and then after I just reanalyzed everything, I literally talked myself out of Walker winning the fight. I was like, "Man, all right, I got to go with Ankalaev." And I think that first round goes to Ankalaev. It started off in Johnny Walker's favor, but I'm giving it to Ankalaev. Just because he landed more clean strikes and he had a little bit more ring aggression for the majority of that round. Like I said, Johnny Walker throws unorthodox, hard to read strikes. He's been throwing capoeira kicks, spinning back fists, spinning heel kicks. He threw an axe kick. And I'm like, he's throwing all these crazy things. Not a lot are landing. But when Ankalaev throws like the inside kicks and some of his punches to the head and body, they're landing more cleanly. Not. Look. So far, Walker looking more mature, too. He definitely is. Somebody said, is that F3 Peach Mood? You already know it. That's F3 Peach Mood right there. And I finished this one. These have caffeine in it, so I'm not going to open those tonight. The Peach Mood and the Orange Mood are delicious, but those are the recovery ones, so I drink those at night, and I drink the ones like the citrus. The Tropical Theory is my favorite caffeinated one, and Orange Mood is my favorite non-caffeinated one. And the reason why they're not up here is because I drunk all of those because they're my favorites. What up, Lathan in the chat? Yeah, we're watching this Walker versus Ankalaev. And like I said, I don't think it's going to go all 5 rounds. He's starting to increase the amount of pressure, and Johnny Walker literally just ran in the cage. Yes, but if you are in the IG chat, just go over to the Millions chat for your chance to win either a free case of F3 Energy, a Welcome to the Moon Show, either shirt or hoodie, which it is the wintertime. Who doesn't need a new hoodie? Oh!
Oh my God. No one picked that.
And it's over. Just like that. Wow. I told y'all I talked myself out of Walker being my pick. I literally said I'm talking myself out of this because I feel Ankalaev is a more aggressive striker. Some people throw to land. I said some people throw to hit and some people throw to hurt. And when Ankalaev is throwing, he's throwing to hurt. And he just caught Johnny Walker with a nasty right hand. Boom! Rocked him. And when he sat him down, he hit him again. God, he's leaking. Was it overhand right? Boom. Boom! Oh, it was a right hook.
Oh.
Ouch! So we've been going over this. Shout out to Lathan. We've been going over Southpaw versus Orthodox striking for the past 2 months. All right? How to strike against a Southpaw if you're Orthodox and how to strike against an Orthodox if you're Southpaw. And this is textbook level 2 Rush MMA, Coach Lathan, left leg, my lead foot on the outside of their lead foot, their right leg. He covered the right side hand when he slipped and threw the right hook and flatlined him. Boom. No, not flatlined him. He dropped him, and then when he sat down, he hit him with another right hand. What up? So, yeah. Click, that's what happened. Ankalaev knocked out Johnny Walker round 2 with a right hand. Johnny Walker threw a low kick. He went to go check the kick, but he stayed in the stance. He didn't evade. He put his foot down. His lead leg was on the outside. And when he put his lead leg on the outside, had his hand up here because Johnny Walker was like shelling. He held the top frame, threw the right hook, caught him dead on the chin, sat Walker down. When Walker butt hit the mat, caught him with another shot to the chin, knock out. It's over. So, God, oh my God. He is leaking.
All over the place.
He is leaking. AR's in the building. Yep, but there she goes. That's it. It is over. This is what's my participation try. Hey, you you get a participation thank you. You get a thank you for that. But yeah, that was a good card. That was a good card. That was a pretty, let's see, fourth most knockouts in UFC lightweight history. Angelov has 6 knockouts. Thanks for streaming. Got me through my shift. My bro's over here watching it on his shift. So no excuses out there. Next time y'all join in for the fights, I'll have more prizes, more giveaways, everything from Lunar Unlimited merchandise, cases of F3, and even cash prize giveaways. So maybe we'll do, nobody's been getting these fight picks right for the last like 4 shows. Somebody hit the nail on the head. The Izzy Pereira. It was like, oh, I got Izzy round 2 or something like that with a knocking out Pereira. And then somebody else hit the weekend, the next month after that. And then since then, nobody's picked the correct fights to win a prize. So maybe we'll do some movie or moon trivia so you guys have a better chance of winning since we're all bad at picking fights. And I'm a professional fighter, even though I picked that one correct. All right? Yeah, we'll do some movie trivia next time. But any final questions before we pretty much sign out for tonight? If not, I want to give a shout out to everybody that participated and joined the Millions Watch stream. If y'all don't have any Moon merch already, go ahead and get that Lunar Unlimited merch. You can get memorabilia. Boom. I have 4 more of these signed posters. If you want one, go on my Millions account. If you're on Instagram and you want to get to Millions, click the link in my bio. You'll see my Millions profile. Follow me on Millions. Book me for events. Get shout-out videos. Get Moon merch, memorabilia, positive affirmation shirts. Boom, with my saying on the back. Any way to help support and look cool. All right? So thank y'all for tuning in tonight. It says, has a date been set on your next fight? Nope. When I know a date, you'll know a date. But more importantly, Millions will know the date. So follow me on Millions, y'all. Y'all have a good night and have a good one.